Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I've just made it back out today over to Thorndon Country Park, and I've been here several times, as some of the regular viewers have seen, but luckily enough today I've left it a good month since I was here last, and finally we've got the amazing autumn colours that are being brought out in all the trees that are really sort of taking on their full autumn colours. So hopefully today be able to capture some real proper autumn images. Come along for the journey. So I've just got the camera set up here for my first image, similar to one that I captured once before when I came here on my first visit, looking out across over the lake here. However, slightly different angle, looking more about the trees here and trying to get some of the reflections in the water and obviously picking out the details and the colour of the trees. However, the weather conditions today are proving to be a little bit challenging. It is very dull and overcast day today and creating a bit of mist sort of further out over the lake here. But that's fine, because what I'm having to do is probably take about 3 images. So obviously focusing on the trees and then switching over to the exposure box to take an exposure for the trees, so there's the shadows, exposure for obviously the foreground as well, which is slightly brighter, and then where I'm getting sort of the brightness in the water here, which if I turn you around you can possibly see, where that is obviously the highlights as well. We're taking another exposure for that, and then in post-processing obviously blend all 3 images together to hopefully work out with a quite well balanced image. So each of those images are set at f16 ISO 100, and again shooting in aperture priority mode as normal with a 2-second timer to reduce any shake. So working out really well. So I've got the next image set up here, and literally all I've done is just swapped over to my zoom lens here, my 70-300, and obviously using that to get across the other side of the lake, and obviously then just trying to pick out some of the tree detail over there as well. So luckily enough, there's one of these seagulls that it looks like, a bird on a stick over there, so that's always a added bonus. And I've got that roughly on the rule of thirds line, and obviously then again over there as well is a bench as well. So again, sort of that composition would work really well. Unfortunately, I would love someone just to go and sit down and have a rest over there, but I don't think the 2 seconds timer would work for me to run all the way around there and obviously take that image. Plus also I don't really fancy leaving the camera here unattended for that period of time, but hey ho, working out really quite well. So I've got the settings on that one is f16 ISO 100, and obviously zooming right into the trees on that one in live view, and then obviously pre-focusing on the leaves so I can obviously get that as sharp as possible, so when I obviously take that image. The other thing as well that I'm not tempted to do is use the circular polarizer on it as well, because of the mist. That would have obviously cut it all out, and actually I think the mist today, the atmosphere, the overcast skies is what I want to sort of bring out in the image as well. I think sort of that type of conditions really add to the autumnal feel of the images that I'm able to capture today. So so far really good. So from the next composition, I've literally moved probably about 10 metres from where I was before, looking out across the lake, and using the path here as a leading line throughout the image to sort of the vanishing point as well. We've obviously then this oak tree that's over the lake here as well, with the fantastic sort of orangey brown leaves as well, which hopefully is working out really quite nice. Again, obviously having a bench in there as well gives a little bit of perspective as well, and obviously some more interest within the actual image. So again, I've swapped over, sorry, for this image I've actually swapped over to my wide angle lens on about 10mm as well. Got it slightly angled up so I obviously can get the full obviously shape of the tree in the image as well. And again, obviously have the settings of f16, ISO 100, and again as normal shooting in aperture priority mode as well. So working out to be a really good image. So I've just moved around the lake a little bit further to a similar spot, or pretty much exactly the same spot that I was at when I first came down to Thornton Country Park, overlooking the lake here to the bench as well. But again, picking out the amazing colours that I've got across the other side, and hopefully trying to make a sort of a bit of a pano shot or a letterbox crop on it as well. So obviously it can reduce the sky, because I don't really obviously need that. There's no detail there at all in the sky, but obviously pick out the detail in the trees and obviously get some of the reflections as well in the water, which is the type of images that I really sort of want to try and capture today. Where it is so sort of overcast as well, I can sort of really increase the aperture and obviously make sure that I can get a slightly longer exposure of obviously about up to a half a second without obviously putting an ND filter on the front, just so I can smooth out any slight ripples that I'm getting in the actual water as well, and hopefully then sort of magnifying those reflections as well. So hopefully that work out really well. So again, for this setting that I've got is about 18mm on my kit lens, f22, ISO 100, which is creating about half a second exposure. So working out really well. So I've just walked round to the other side of the lake now, and got a composition set up here looking back across the other side of the lake to one of the silver birch trees that's over there as well, and it's creating a fantastic reflection with the yellow that it's actually been on the leaves as well, and obviously the reflection in the water. However, unfortunately, there's one of these sort of man-made rafts type things for wildlife etc to perch on in the middle of the lake, so I'm probably going to have to admit that I'm going to have to clone that one out, because it really is not adding anything at all to the image. In fact, it's really sort of making it quite a poor image with that in it. I know I've got my wellies on today, but I don't think they're going to survive if I try to wade out there and actually move that little island. But obviously, yeah, we just have to play around with it in post-processing. But for that image, I'm on f22 again, zooming right in using the live view and focusing on the branches and obviously the main trunk of the birch tree, and then taking that image, which is again giving me about an image of about 1 second exposure time. So again, hopefully smoothing out any sort of little ripples in the water that we've got here, and again obviously highlighting some of those reflections as well. So hopefully working out to be a good image. So I had a good walk around the lake there, and there's not really many more compositions that I was able to see, so didn't really feel it's worthwhile sort of getting the camera out and taking any more images. But I'm really happy with what I'm being able to capture today. The weather conditions are proper autumnal today. Obviously the overcast skies, the slight mist and drizzle in the air as well will hopefully add to the image, because it's all about creating that atmosphere, creating that feeling when someone views your actual images, which hopefully I've been able to achieve today. And if not, then there's always that delete button and tomorrow to come out again to a different location, but hopefully that won't be the case. So it's proved out to be really well worth coming out today, in my opinion so far. But hopefully you've obviously enjoyed the images as well, and seen that autumn can change so much between one part of the country to another. I was watching some YouTube about a month or so ago, and autumn, the conditions that I had today were exactly like that, sort of up in the Lake District area, but it's taken at least a month or so, 6 weeks, to actually get to this area of Essex. So hopefully it's worked out really quite well, and that sort of perseverance has really paid off. But if you've enjoyed the images today, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you give it a comment as well, as I do reply to every comment that's made about my videos. And if you've enjoyed it that much, please consider subscribing as well. And also, for those that have subscribed, make sure you click on the bell icon as well. And I'm really grateful for any new subscriptions and any comments as well, because it really does give me motivation to get out and make these videos, show my images, and hopefully encourage others to get out in some of the conditions that are not necessarily going to be favourable going forward to the rest of this year and into the beginning part of next. But hopefully that gives someone that motivation to actually get out and actually do some photography as well. So thanks a lot for watching, and take care.